Hello there, and welcome to episode 10 of my tutorial series for Against the Storm. In this one, we're going to bring home the victory for this game, because in the last two episodes, this Prestige 1 game has been already prepared quite well. Episode 3 will now be focusing how to carry the victory back home without stumbling over your own feet, and I also want to talk a little bit about the future of the series. After this victory, I'm going to go over the next few prestige levels as well, but not anymore as the main topic. The main topic of the upcoming episodes will be the different biomes, where I'm going to talk on one side, of course, still about the new challenges in the new prestige layer, but mostly about what has changed in the current biome and how you can utilize that and all these things. I will do specified prestige focused episodes again as well, once we are hitting like Prestige 5 and Prestige 10. Those are really big breakpoints, but besides that, that's going to be how I want to work on over with this series. Feel free to leave me a comment if you have any topics you want to see covered in the upcoming episodes, or if you want to see anything I haven't announced here. Feel free to talk about that in the comment section. Now then, so let's get the speed meter back on, and first off, I want to draw a few paths here and there in between to make sure our citizens have a few things to walk on. Besides that, our situation is quite golden. We have a production of tools available. We have a lot of ingots going on. We have a lot of tools in our position, and last time, at the very end of the last episode, I have employed a third woodcutter because we're just that fancy by now. Our colony, besides that, is, well, we are producing not too many different things. At the kiln, I'm making myself some coal, and I'm trying to make some jerky. We have only recently activated the ranch, and I think this will make a big difference, because with the ranch we have access to meat in a larger scale, and that means we'll also have access to more happiness on the lizards, because the more jerky they get, the more happy they are. But we also need to bring up other food items there, and in this run we haven't been that lucky. I have only grabbed the smokehouse so far, so the upcoming drafts here, I really want to grab myself more sources of complex food, because here we don't have that many options. We're getting ourselves coats at the artisans. That's also very, very good, but it's not necessarily what I want to see as a permanent solution. The next interesting thing we're going to make happen here is to clobber open that glade on over here, but that's not gonna happen this year. I'm pretty sure that it won't happen this year. But we're all in all on a good way here, victory-wise. Next storm's coming on up, so we gotta be careful about that. The next order is being fulfilled. As you see here, the need for clothing fulfilled. Just needs to be fulfilled 10 seconds more. And now, well, we have Hostility 5, so let's press Alt and remove some woodcutters, because it's pretty clear that we won't be able to host all of them. So let's see how everything will work out on Hostility 4. I have my doubts, but we'll see about that. Basically, every level of Hostility is -6 resolve when the storm's setting on in. And if I'm not mistaken, that's enough to make everybody go on in net negative. Well, everybody except for humans, they somehow tanked it out. Oh, we have a new order to pick here as well. Cool. Thanks. So, pack of building materials and simple tools, we can easily provide that, so let's do that. The other thing here, well, let's see, do I have a building for trade goods? If yes, I'm going to take that. If no, I'm not going to take that. Trade goods are something you cannot produce per se, so as you see there, no, I don't have any workshop producing these. I can produce luxury goods at the carpenters, but well, that's it. So we're going to go for the other way around. So let's accept the reward here, because it ain't providing any new citizens. Oh, that was a dumb choice. Damn. I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to explain you in a second why. Because what has happened now is that everybody's unhappier. Why? Because the Queen's impatience went lower, and the Queen's impatience is actually lowering the hostility of the forest, but whatever. So we're going to unemploy more woodcutters here, and ultimately we're going to have it like that. It's okay. It's okay. We have here 9 people unemployed now, and I personally dislike that a lot, but I cannot do much about it for the moment. What we can do, though, well, now that I think more closely about it, we can do something. Let's use the wealth of tools we got and start plundering some of those caches for reputation, because that's what we can do and should do now, while at the rest of the map we're getting more and more production going. I do want to spend my tools though mostly on caches and glades now, because we need to win, you know, never lose the victory out of sight. And here, I don't care about the lizard's resolve going low there, because I do know my good old chumps, the lizards, they will be not reaching 0 before the storm's over, so that's okay. Lizards are quite the resilient little bunch. So, let's go. The Carpenter's Workshop will now see another beaver dude in there, because, you know, it's okay. So, next year is on. Let's check on out what cornerstone can we get. So global production is faster, but trading is unavailable. We're not going to take that. All houses have room for one more villager. Heck, why not? There could be really worse things happening there. So the newcomers are in town, and we're going to pick on up the people with the parts. And yeah, we don't need any housing now. Well, it doesn't come as a big surprise. So, alright. Next step, we need those woodcutters back in duty. And I want to work myself now into the next Danger Glade ASAP. So we're going to bring up 2 woodcutters here. Let's delete that so I can optimize my chopping pattern. And we're going to... I'm holding down shift here to make it as narrow as possible, because I want that these dudes are working as focused as possible. There we go. So the ranch is busy now, and as we see there, we can now... We have a constant... we constantly provide now jerky. So I need food. I really hope that we're going to see some complex food producer, but wow, that's unfortunate. There's one thing I see there, though. There's fabric, and training gear is also somewhat desirable, so let's pick the Weaver. But that's pretty much, wow. That's very unlucky. Let's just say it like that, okay? So, Dullahan Warlander. This trader is the mystery box trader, and sadly, we don't have any amber right now. Oh, crap. That would have been so much fun if we'd had more amber. So let's check on out. We do have people carrying amber right now. So here we have some amber being carried away. And here, it's only a matter of seconds, and we can spend some. Nice. So Dullahan, you unlock him for winning, I think, on Viceroy for the first time. So let's see. I'm waiting for the last things to be delivered. 30. Come on. 40. So, let's check this out. We're going to buy ourselves a big mystery box, or no, we're not. We're going to buy those copper bars, of course. Of course, copper bars, you know. Copper bars and copper ore. That's important. Those mystery boxes, yeah, they are nice, they are dandy and all. But at the end of the day, the more ore we got, the faster we win. And at this point, buying these is like pressing a win harder button, because the more tools we produce right now, the faster we're going to be able to win, and that's that. By the way, we have another blueprint available. So here, cookhouse and the rain mill. So it's really wicked this time. So we don't have any place to produce flour at. The smelter could produce biscuits, and the cookhouse is able to produce skewers. So skewers, we can make them with the given items we got. So we're going to do that. Although the rain mill would be really appealing too, because we could be making ourselves the flour we need. But since we have to, since we have to say to nope out on something either way, I'm going to pick the skewers because these we can make them already, and they make the lizards even happier. And as you see here, right now I'm using the lizards pretty much as a reputation win condition, so to say. All right. So cookhouse is up. We can slap in those lizards to make them even happier, you know, even more resolve. And here, well, gladly will I allow them to make biscuits. But no, don't make the skewers out of jerky. It's a big no-no. And here, well, I gotta allow them to make, to process plant fibers into meat as well, otherwise we're going to have an eternal shortage of that stuff. So, trappers can also harvest eggs, so let them do so. And here we're opening up the glade rather sooner than later, and so this is the situation where I would say stop opening it, and therefore we do so. The thing is, if we open up the glade now, we do risk one thing, and that's opening the glade, and then we'll be in the middle of the danger event while the glade is open, while the storm is upon us. And storm season is always the season where stuff goes down on you, and therefore, well, what can I say? I think it's way better that to open those glades when the storm is really on us. This will make things a lot easier. And we are really well on schedule here, you know. And open up another cache here. It's something we can do. Here's another cache. But I don't want to open that cache right now. I always leave a reserve of tools at my disposal to resolve a glade event with, you know. That's way better. But the good news is now we're making finally here. I need to allow them the eggs. We're finally making the skewers as well, so that's going to get us somewhere. We've just achieved another reputation point with the opened cache there. And you see, we need to pressure on, of course. We cannot lay low. At no moment can we afford to lay low. But right now we are on a really nice motion forward. What's really important now is that we need to open up new glades, and we need to keep producing those tools. That's why I bought metal like a crazy horse, you know. So the scavies are running empty, and that egg deposit here is the last one at our disposal. So we really have to open up a new source of material there, and we have a darned high hostility there. Oopsie. So it's absolutely foreseeable that we won't be able to afford a single woodcutter this storm season. So let's go. And even with hostility 4, our resolve is rather bad. So that's one of those unfavorable storms where we have to juggle and we have to manage a bit around. So I'm not going to sacrifice anything before I have to, you know. It's really important that you should never go and let's see, can I get one woodcutter in? Perfect. So you should never go and sacrifice away before the resolve hits rock bottom. There's really no reason to. So here we go. Let's open up the next glade. I'm not accepting the reward here because this time I'm smarter. I don't want to let the Queen's resolve go lower at this point. So opening up a new glade has made the forest again more hostile. So the joke's on us, but that's okay. So we found more fertile soil. Hooray! That's really, really good. We found a totem of denial, and we found lots of sea marrow. Sea marrow is really good for us, so that's resolving a lot of our fuel problems. Perfect. And we also found a large abandoned cache. That's so far really good, because that means we can now invest our tools happily. So here you see the Ritual of Denial. I cannot stop that right now. It would block my ability to sacrifice stuff at the hearth. And, well, that would be exactly quite brutal on us. So at this point we have now two options. We could either now try and save the beavers, or actually we could also just say, well, let's see if it how it goes down. As you see there, I'm just letting it flow now. Check out what happens there. So now we have the beavers going happy back again during this season, and we didn't need to sacrifice a single scrap. Two things. First off, sometimes it is okay to lose people, you know? Don't be too worried about that. Yeah, call for Blightrot cysts. Once you enter the prestige level of difficulties, sometimes you will lose people on a mission. That's normal now. You will notice that the more often you play it, the more prevalent this becomes. And therefore, sometimes, you know, it might be even better to sacrifice a settler instead of your resources. Just keep a few things in mind. First off, whenever somebody leaves your city, the queen will be unhappy. So whenever the resolve of somebody goes down completely, you will tank a hit. So you better be prepared for that. But sometimes it's really more preferable to just let the suckers go instead of going too crazy because of them. So there we go, rain mill. That's what I wanted to have. So the rain mill will provide flour for us. Brilliant. And let's make sure we have the woodcutters we require. Let's man those workshops. This woodcutter here has to be moved away as well, because that's just a very, very unfavorable positioning. And we are now on hostility 8, as you can see. This is quite wild. So what's now really important for me is to free up the glade, holding down control to make sure that I'm not opening up anything I don't want to open. And we're going to put the warehouse now on high priority. And now we're going to move those workshops on over here. So the woodcutters, much more. Okay, so I'm sitting on 38 tools and I'm ready to use them. So we're going to go crazy. So choosing the rewards for reputation pretty much always. And we're setting up a plantation now here as well. Let's move it like that. And put up some farm fields there. So now we have a permanent income of plant fiber and berry, and that's going to get us really far. So here we go. Let's access these things. And as you see here, I'm forcing the production of reputation points as hard as possible. Wherever I can get reputation, I pick reputation. Because there's really, right now, at this point, you're basically working against the death clock. The longer the game goes, the more likely you're going to die against hostility or, well, eventually the Queen's Impatience. And therefore, I'm really working hard to make sure that we're going to keep pressing forward. So Another thing that I want to do here is I want to have one woodcutter opening up his way into that direction already. Because, you know, we gotta think ahead. I have the feeling as if we're not going to be able to get this done in time. So here we're going to put into the rain mill humans and beavers. And we're going to disallow the production of these, of course. And one important thing is we stop feeding the grain to the meat farm at this point, because that would be highly detrimental now. Over here at this place, we're producing now plant fiber, which will feed the ranch, and therefore everything is good-o. One thing is really important, though. We gotta be checking on out if our blight post is well enough. Alright, our buddy Zork has arrived. So, what has Zork in store? Increases global food production speed? No thanks, no thanks, no thanks. So, we're going to buy a big sack of grain from him, and a big sack of flour as well. So, we can produce all that stuff that we require now better, and possibly those herbs. So, what we're going to sell, pretty much everything we don't need anymore. The sea marrow is optional. We're also getting tons of that stuff in. And, well, we're going to fill up the rest of the bill with some tools. There we go. These materials will be putting our production now to a completely new level. Because now we have the ingredients to produce complex food like crazy. And that will make our resilient or resolve go bump up like crazy as well. So at least that's the plan. Here goes the weaver's workshop. We're going to set this up like that. Let's put this to a limit of 10. We're also going to make leather now, because why not? But also only out of plant fiber. Here we go. So this will take a moment until it kicks into motion, but this will get us. This will be wild, believe me. And we have only 3 more farm fields to fulfill there, and we need packs of building material. All right. So here's another thing. Let's see if I remember correctly. Well, all right. There's no place like the rain mill, hey? Okay. So packs of building materials. We're going to allow only planks, and we're only going to make 15 of those just for that quest, right? Right. Not much more than that. Okay. So, we have another blueprint at our disposal. And at this point, yeah, we're definitely going to pick up the bakery, because then we'll even have access to pie. And as you see there, I'm totally skipping the service buildings at that point. Mostly because my drafting abilities are so horrible at this very moment that I really don't want to do this. Oh, wait a sec. We should not prefer the jerky like that. I mean, technically, we should be now able to draft 1 service building for the next cycle. Let's check out one thing. I feel like the humans might be actually far enough ahead. No. Whatever. So, oh, we have 1 homeless lizard, so let's make that happen as well. Oh, and we can, of course, finish the decorations there. I think I got interrupted the other time I wanted to do that. Whoopsie daisy. So, upgrading your hubs even further is quite a cool thing to do. So, the bakery, let's put in more lizards in there. And here, I really don't have any hesitation whatsoever to give everything open, or to leave everything open for processing, because now we're basically going to win via food. That's the strategy now, and it's a darn good one actually. So woodcutters camps, let's unman them so the storm doesn't kill us. All right, so let's see how that'll play out now. We're at hostility 6, and we're not really able to tank that. But you know the drill. The lizards won't go crazy before just because of that. So we're going to clap in some more woodcutters, and I want to do one particular thing. I want to make sure we have those things there. They shall be free. We are also on our last few victory points that we require, so we're going to carve ourselves another tunnel. And in this scenario, this time we're winning particularly slow. That's mostly because I have not many. I haven't had the flour, and my income of complex food was pretty crappy in this run. There's always some other things being a problem or not being a problem. So go. As you see here, we didn't need to do anything either. So here we go. Let's put them back into work. And here I'm going to make sure that we're going to bobber open that as soon as possible. All right. So, gain +1 lizard resolve for every piece of training gear produced. Yeah, well, no. Anyways, nice try. So, we're now waiting for two things. First off, I'm waiting for the farm fields to be finished. Or freed from trees. Oh yeah, the newcomers. Let's pick the ones with pools, you know why. And let's narrow that even further. Good. And now, with that kind of food production, let's check on out if we can make the humans produce happiness for once. 29. Almost there. Ah, damn. But they're not going to go higher than that. Alright, whatever. So now we are in a little bit of a unfavorable situation, but there's still 2 orders that will be fulfilled anytime soon, so no need to worry. You only need to worry if you are very soon to this being full, and you don't know where to get new victory points from. That's the only scenario you need to be worried about. So here, well, we're going to resolve that with tools. Luckily we have that many tools. And here, same-o. Going to sacrifice that. And now we have a new deposit of roots. And we can also set on up a new harvester for the plant fiber. But most likely we're not going to need most of these things too badly anymore. This will be most likely now already I think the last few swings now to win this. So, we're going to set on up a couple of human houses to make the people here happier. Because, you know, heck, why not? There we go. And the humans are now churning out reputation per minute. And that's exactly where we want it to be. Alrighty. And now we're producing reputation per minute by resolve, and well, there's a lot of happiness now going on in the town. And as you see here, many of my workshops are practically standing still. It's because we're basically just waiting for the productions there to happen, and or our camps have run out of work, but that's okay. I've already brought up something new. So we're set with that. And at the same time, we now have to, of course, worry about our next source of income, especially since we now have to be careful. We don't have any metal to process anymore, so we don't have any income of tools anymore at this point, so better be careful about that. So, let's see, can Sahilda help us with that? No, she actually can't. That's a tragedy. But she can provide some herbs. She can provide some grain. That's going to help. There we go. Shut up and take my money, dear. Everything that provides us food that makes our people happy will help us now. So, religion and education. Let's pick the temple. Why not? So, I do know that, let's see, religion and education. So, religion is being provided by incense, and education is being provided by scrolls. We do have scrolls here, so let's make them out of leather. and out of pigment. I don't have any pigment here, but I do know that I have a store, a workshop, which can make pigment. We can make pigment out of berries, so let's do this. And therefore, it's now merely a question of time, you know? So let's shift off the lighter treatment so the lizards get some more reputation, resolve there. And let's go. So this time I want to try out something. I'm just going to leave my people as they are. Simple reason for that, the last time the resolve of my dudes was high enough, just tank the druid. And I want to try on out if this works out this time as well. On higher difficulty levels you cannot do this anymore. I'm going to tell you why later. But on this difficulty level, this works on out just decently like that. Alrighty, so we're going to wait this out. As you see there, we will eventually lose some beaver this storm, but well, our city is so full of people, we actually can't afford, you know? We actually can't afford. So, we'd receive 4 more newcomers here if we'd accept that quest. Let's empty that makeshift post. And yeah, so 1 builder left us, but honestly, I think that's something we can't tackle. Alrighty, so let's check this out. We got 1 last cornerstone of goods production, whatever, dude. And here, the temple's ready. So here's our first building like these, and now we have the ability to use scrolls for education. Education is something that makes beavers happy, but beavers only. It'll provide a boost of happiness for the remaining city there. We're making scrolls here, perfect. Opening up the last glade, we have here 1 fuming machinery, yielding half a point of reputation. Can't do that just with ore bricks, wonderful. And here we have several workshops at our disposal. But we're basically we're already winning this, so we're going to put this agriculture thing up. And then a few more houses. And now we're simply out of 5 simple tools. Or, well, yeah, a handful of simple tools, so let's do this. I know that this episode today is a little bit on overlength, but well, whatever. So we're summoning old Farleth to make sure that he's going to check us out as well. We can now also favor the beavers because they're happy enough to give us reputation points. And well, there we go. So Farleth has all we need. He has the metals we require. So we can just buy us some, and that's going to open up the path to victory, because now with that we're going to be able to craft ourselves the tools we require, and that's that. But either way, this is pretty much a victory. So there's not that much more to talk about it, and I'd say that's a good moment to outro this episode. As you see there, we have now won on several avenues, and we could push on even harder. But it'll be enough to win with the reputation we generate per minute and the last order to be fulfilled. So that's that. So everybody, that's the last episode of this difficulty level. I hope you enjoyed, and feel free to drop me a comment down below. Feel free to ask away what you want to know. Give me feedback about the future of the series, if you like it or not. And, oh, we unlocked the Harpies. Awesome. And, of course, feel free to leave a thumbs up. The algorithm loves that. And if you haven't done so already, just feel free to subscribe. There's daily content coming up like that. Also, supporting this channel is quite easy. I've put up links in the description box below for Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee, and I'd be really, really happy. As a free content creator, my content will be always free to watch, and therefore, feel free to help me out. And a big thanks to all the supporters out there. You really rock. So, have a wonderful day, and see you next time. Bye-bye.